right. Hello, my name is Candy Norman. I am currently a sales representative selling durable medical equipment for a company called Infinity Orthopedics. We are a distributor of the DJO product line. So when I first took the job, I was a little bit worried about how my athletic training skills would transition over into a sales and service setting, and it has been amazing to the point to where our company, when we have job openings, we want them to be athletic trainers. Prior to this position, I got my undergrad at a small school up in Michigan called Alma College, and then got my master's degree down at Heidelberg up in Tiffin, Ohio. From there, I joined Dayton Sports Medicine Institute, and that was in 2003. Uh, with DSMI, I worked at various high school settings from Northridge to Centerville. Eventually, I got moved up to working with the Dayton Dutch Lions, which, for those not familiar with them, they are a semi-pro soccer team. Loved it. Loved every setting I had. Loved the high school setting. Loved working with the soccer team. But as life had it, I ended up getting married and pregnant. And as it turns out, being gone 3 or 4 days out of the week, working evenings and weekends just isn't conducive when you're a mom and a wife. So that's when I was actually approached by, at that time, DonJoy, to take a position as one of their service representatives. And I had worked with DonJoy for probably about 18 months before they moved me over to a sales representative position that I've been in for now 6 years. So personally for me, it was a great transition. I was lucky enough that I had a mentor who was also an athletic trainer that was able to slide me over and say, this is where your skills are going to come into play. This is what you're going to be doing. This is how we do it. And it made the transition great for me. It was, I say to this day, the thing I miss about being in the traditional athletic training setting is I just miss the people, the high school kids, the silliness that goes along with it. But what I absolutely love is with my job, I set my own hours. I'm not working on the weekends. I'm not working in the evenings. I can set aside a couple hours a day if I want to go help out at my daughter's school event. So it's been pretty flexible. Not a lot of sales reps get that opportunity, but I'm very grateful that I have that. With my day-to-day settings, I wish I could say I knew what my day-to-day settings are because they change daily. In my position, what I do is I do sales for durable medical equipment. Specifically, I specialize in something called a bone growth stimulator for fractures that don't heal up. But I also am, obviously, with the DJO product line, you'll see all of our products pretty much any Saturday or Sunday afternoon when you're watching football. We do the knee bracing, the Iceman machines, the shoulder slings, basically any type of orthopedic product is what we sell. When it comes to the sales part of it, you have to have good speaking skills, good time management skills, and my athletic training skills really come into play when I'm meeting with patients. I need to know when a patient is talking, like, hey, I tore my ACL, this is what I'm feeling, this is the kind of activities I do, this is what my weekends are like. We have to work all of that into play to see what's going to be the best fit for this patient. Somebody once told me that the only knee brace that is going to be working for a patient is the one that the patient's going to wear. So if I can't get them in a brace that they're going to feel comfortable with, I'm not helping the doctor out. And unfortunately, when a doctor looks bad, we look bad and everything goes downhill from that point. So other things when it comes to the athletic training skills with my position, we're working with patients sometimes on rehabilitation. For instance, when you just come out of ACL surgery, you're not going to be bending at 90 degrees. You're going to be locked out at 0. So what's going to work best for you? Part of my job is I have to make sure that the MAs, athletic trainers, nursing staff, doctors, they all understand how to put those braces on specifically after surgery, so that there's no damage done to the ACL or whatever surgery they have had. This also applies to rotator cuff surgeries, ankle fusions, all of that. We deal with all of it. We have a great working relationship, not only with the um, the medical staff, like the doctors, the physical therapists, but we also work great with all of the athletic trainers in the area. I think that being an athletic trainer, it makes it easier for when a high school or college athletic trainer gives me a call and says, hey, this is what I'm looking for. They tell me what's going on, and I can go ahead and get them the best fit. And I think that that relationship, that bond that we have together, knowing that we can trust each other, we know what we're talking about, we can talk the lingo, we can ask questions, what position is this kid playing? What's his size like? All of that plays into my job as a sales and service rep. Also with it, I got to be able to talk to surgeons. A surgeon's not going to appreciate it when I come in and say, so your kid tore some ligament in their knee. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? My surgeons want to know that they can call me any time of day, and they can just say, this is what we're looking for. This is the patient. This is, the insurance that we're dealing with. You get it taken care of. And I kind of pride all of our Infinity employees that were able to do that. Again, we have a very large population of athletic trainers in our company, so that doctors just flock to that. That's what they want. They respect athletic trainers, and they want us as a part of their staff, so that they know that they are getting the best care. So we have 2 folks that are stationed in specific clinics. We also have other clinics where they just stock the braces, fill out the paperwork. I go grab the paperwork and I go through, make sure insurance is all set, make sure the diagnosis codes are there, make sure the demographics, chart notes are all there, and then we send it into insurance. I would say one downfall of my job is having to deal with insurance companies. They're not necessarily the speediest or the most cooperative. But the great part about being with the DJO company is that we have a great, huge staff throughout the country that help us out with billing and help us out with any issues that we may have, that can follow up on orders like that. So because I can't always stick in front of a computer and wonder what insurance is held up on. So we really have a great support system throughout our company. I can say that this was probably the best transition I could have made, and I don't regret ever leaving the traditional athletic training setting. But at the same time, this job it keeps me in the athletic training field. It keeps me working with athletes and athletic trainers and doctors, and I've really enjoyed it. And I hope that this is beneficial, in that you guys can see that athletic trainers do, companies do look at that ATC to see if they're going to be beneficial in their company. And I can tell you that there's a lot of sales reps that get hired because of that, and a lot of companies that will only hire that. So thanks. Have a great day.